Everybody has money or access to it. I wish you could see these things. I know that they're crying to you, and every new reg falls for that.
Considering everything that's going on with the Israelis right now, and the war, and the this and the that, you know, seems like you would be more interested in that.
So he would turn his phone off to honor the Sabbath. He would come in, open the junk drawer. Everyone has a junk drawer. Open the junk drawer, said Shabbat Shalom, put it in there, turn the phone off, slam the door, and he felt so free because he was unreachable.
Are you kidding me? Shabbat Shalom! They are rubbing it in our faces at this point.
Scientology and TPUSA appear to be working far more closely than most people expected. Charlie never thought the people he trusted would turn on him when he needed loyalty most. Jaguar lays it out like there was a whole hidden operation happening right under everyone's noses. She insists Charlie didn't see it coming. Jaguar's theory about Charlie's sudden exit has exploded online.
It came and said, like, there's a lot of stuff that's government-based going on.
She's openly pointing at Erika Kirk as someone who might have been collaborating with TPUSA's inner circle, and even naming controversial Scientologist John Mappin. Jaguar describes quiet backroom meetings, whispered deals, and friendly faces smiling while planning something else behind the scenes. By now, you've probably heard the chatter. People believe Charlie may have been betrayed from within. People see Charlie was being pushed, manipulated, and gently steered into situations that didn't seem risky at first, but that left him exposed later.
One of the reasons why I always go back to Dianetics. If you really want to know the truth, Dianetics is one of the most incredible tools that allows you to tell the difference between truth and lies. It is so extraordinary. This book, by the way, In the Hands of the Freedom Movement, is
Some online conversations are now pointing directly at Erika, as if she was standing too close to the smoke while pretending not to notice. Viewers are asking whether Charlie was surrounded by people who acted like they were helping but were actually guiding him into chaos, and whether the whole thing was bigger than him, bigger than his platform, and bigger than anything he understood at the time. Erika's name keeps coming up again and again, and everyone wants to know why she was so often in the middle of the storm. The strange part is how people avoid anything to do with Scientology, like it's an untouchable zone. One tweet that's gone viral reads, "So no one wants to talk about how Scientologists IRA and John Mappin, listed in Epstein's Black Book, helped Charlie Kirk set up TP."
Andrew Morton, the man who stripped bare Princess Diana's private life, then Monica Lewinsky's, is about to release his new book about Tom Cruise. It features extraordinary claims about Scientology's #1 recruit and his second wife, Nicole Kidman.
And they even brag about their friendship with Erika. That post is lighting up social feeds and forcing questions some would rather avoid. That message is the one going viral right now, and people are scrambling to find out how deep this connection goes. If even half of it is true, Charlie wasn't only betrayed by political allies, he may have been surrounded by people who quietly moved into his circle with friendly smiles and secret plans. That's not simple backstabbing. That looks like an infiltration. The alleged Scientology link feels much heavier than people expected. Online commenters say it has a government-style energy, layers of behind-the-scenes activity that ordinary people rarely see.
Scientology would be a group that I would be concerned about, even though there are many celebrities involved in it. It's a shrinking organization, but they still control a great many people, and they have an enormous amount of money and property that they control.
The more folks dig, the more odd connections appear, and everything looks more confusing and suspicious. So let's start with the Mappins, John and Io Mappin. These two names keep showing up whenever this conversation comes up. They've been part of high-profile social circles for years, and now people are wondering how they ended up so close to Charlie's world, smiling while the noise built in the background. You might know the Mappins as the British Scientologists who own Camelot Castle. Their names also appear in Epstein's contact list, which raises questions for many who notice it. People act like they don't see these connections. John Mappin is deeply involved in Scientology. He spent time in Los Angeles studying the system and moving through its ranks. Some online accounts suggest Camelot Castle isn't just a fancy home. They claim it's used as a networking hub where newcomers get approached and gradually drawn into the system without realizing it. There's also a video of John Mappin explaining Dianetics, like he's giving a master class online. If you haven't heard of Dianetics, it's the main book connected to Scientology's teachings, written by L. Ron Hubbard. The book is presented as a kind of self-help guide. It's described as a way to clear your mind, remove heavy memories, and shed emotional baggage that people say they've carried for years. Dianetics goes beyond just recent memories. It digs into old experiences, past life ideas, and even dramatic cosmic events that allegedly happened long before any of us existed. That mix of personal healing and big, unusual concepts sounds almost like science fiction.
So I'm standing in the office and our family friend was like, you need to meet the owner. Hi, you're the guy from the ticket line. We had met through a family friend. He had invited me to the office opening for Turning Point USA, which I know several of you guys are supporters of. And so I went to the office opening and he was like, you need to meet the CEO in New York. So
People who've watched John Mappin talk about this material say he presents it with total confidence, as if revealing a hidden playbook. When you link,
it goes to the point where if, for example, if I have less ability sometimes online to criticize the Israeli government without backlash than actual Israelis do. It's
been
almost
so
as if
unfair. They were coming after you after Turning Point for, among other things, that you had Dave Smith there. Dave Smith is allowed to criticize Israel. You had both sides. The Israeli side was overrepresented.
No, you're not allowed to. It's even worse than
that energy to his ties with powerful people, influential circles, and now Charlie's world. The whole situation feels much more serious.
Erika Kirk is a plant.
Charlie wrote you letters.
I know.
Every week?
Every Saturday. So he would turn his phone off to honor the Sabbath. He would come in, open the junk drawer. Everyone has a junk drawer. Open the junk drawer, said Shabbat Shalom, put it in there, turn the phone off, slam the door, and he felt so free because he was unreachable.
Are you kidding me? Shabbat Shalom! They are rubbing it in our faces at this point.
John Mappin has called Dianetics a secret weapon for the freedom movement. But Charlie was a committed Christian who followed the Bible closely and avoided anything outside his faith. So why would Charlie allow Scientology ideas and practices?
There were, for whatever reason, 12 Israeli cell phones on the ground at Utah Valley University the day that Charlie Kirk was assassinated. This has completely spooked the people that are very high up in government. Now, to be clear, I don't mean that there were 12 VPNs that were switched and routed through Israel on that day. I mean that there were 12 personal cell phone accounts that were opened in Israel, okay? Like you go into Verizon in Tennessee or in Connecticut and you open your phone. I am saying that they opened their phones in Israel, those accounts in Israel, and they were on the ground on September 10th at Utah Valley University when Charlie was
To enter a movement built on tradition and scripture, it doesn't add up. It seems like a different belief system was slipped into his circle without him noticing. There's another concern people keep mentioning: Scientology's so-called knowledge reports, which many say are used to control members by collecting personal information and exerting pressure to keep people in line. Online commenters claim these reports act like leverage, discouraging questions and making it hard for members to leave. Now back to John and Ira Mappin. Their role in Charlie's world was not small. They helped launch Turning Point UK, the British version of Charlie's organization. They didn't just donate money and walk away. They helped build infrastructure and set up the movement overseas. That's why people are puzzled. Why would a group known for internal control get so involved in a movement that promotes independence and personal freedom? One user on X pointed out that the Mappins helped Charlie set up Turning Point UK. The same way they've inserted themselves into other influence circles. That comment spread quickly as people began connecting dots they hadn't noticed before. John Mappen's name appears in Jeffrey Epstein's contact list, and he was seen at a memorial event, which reminded people how interconnected this network seems. Folks online keep saying it's one giant circle, and the overlapping names make everything feel coordinated. Then someone shared a screenshot from John Mappen's website showing a list of services that included spiritual technology. That screenshot went viral. The comment alongside it read, "I'm all ears if someone wants to explain what John Mappen being tied to Turning Point UK means, with spiritual technology listed as a service." With his background in Scientology and Freemasonry, nothing about this feels far-fetched to me. That post raised more questions than answers. John Mappen actually replied to that post with, "I hope this helps," and linked to a video about spiritual technology on the official Scientology YouTube channel. A calm, straightforward reply while others scrambled to connect the dots. But what does it mean? Why would a prominent Scientologist get involved in a Christian-based political movement built on different beliefs and values? The goals don't match, and the energy doesn't match either. Think about it. John Mappen is not a random outsider. He's listed in Epstein's contact list, owns a large castle in the UK, and moves in circles with real influence. That suggests he operates at levels most people don't see. According to experts who study cult-like organizations, Scientology can be highly organized and strategic. So when someone like Mappen steps into a Christian political movement with spiritual technology in his toolkit, it raises real questions. Was he trying to influence the movement? Recruit quietly? Attach Scientology ideas to a Christian space? Or is there an even larger strategy at play? Those are the kinds of moves people say they were seeing: influence, not casual friendship. These Scientology figures didn't act like casual supporters. Many online observers describe their approach as covert, entering quietly, building connections, and using money, relationships, and social reach to nudge movements where they wanted them to go. It's a slow, subtle takeover that many don't notice until it's already deep. Let's break down how people say Scientology operates. It's not just a belief system to some online commentators describe. It is a powerful network with a strict hierarchy and systems that control advancement. They say Scientology targets specific people: influencers, celebrities, leaders, and people with big followings, anyone who can sway public opinion. The strategy they claim is deliberate recruiting, not casual sign-ups. They build trust, offer help, and keep deeper intentions hidden while they gradually shape a person's circle and influence who gets close and who doesn't. That slow burn control is what worries people. So Charlie probably thought John Mappen was offering a helpful boost when setting up Turning Point UK. Charlie likely saw resources, connections, and an international reach and assumed it was about expanding his movement. But many online voices say this was more than help. They call it a strategic entry, infiltration disguised as friendly support. Ask yourself, why would two Scientologists with alleged ties to Epstein be so eager to attach themselves to Charlie's Christian movement? It doesn't line up with belief systems or worldviews. What was their real motive? That leads to Erika Kirk, former pageant queen, reality TV personality, and now a TPUSA executive with a polished public image. If you followed this story, you've seen cracks in that image. A viral tweet claimed the Mappens couldn't stop bragging about their friendship with Erika. After John and IORA got close with both Charlie and Erika, all four went on a trip to Jerusalem in 2019. For many, the timing and the closeness raised eyebrows. It felt too coordinated to be random. Photos of Charlie and John Mappen together in Jerusalem only added to the questions. Think back to Erika's story about spotting Charlie at an airport while on a pilgrimage with her mother.